Oh, hello. Happy February. I am here with Kristi Anderson, one of my favorite people, my favorite yogis who I've known for many years, and you've been part of our spring cleaning for the retreat uh, in Carefree, Arizona every year. This is our third annual retreat, and we've had a couple in Sedona over the past couple decades, but we're really the Carefree Arizona at spring cleaning at Spirit in the Desert Retreat Center is just a lovely venue. It's a lovely setting, and so that's where our home is. We are limited on space, and so we are giving a February 15th deadline now for people to sign up. Everyone can sign up for just $100. We'll save your spot. And you also get $50 off if you bring a friend. So March 15th through the 17th, we want to find out a little bit more about Kristi Anderson and about your part. So go ahead, Kristi, tell our audience a little bit more about you.
Well, I am thrilled to be back again at the retreat. I've had such an amazing time the last couple times that I've been with you, and I'm looking forward to meeting all the people. The people that will be there again this year. I have this beautiful gift of sound that I've been playing with since I was a little kid. I didn't understand it until I got to be older, and then it was like, boom, it was this beautiful thing that just kept giving. And it's the passion that I have is to share sound and to teach people how to use sound to create for themselves and to open space for themselves. And it's just a really beautiful thing. I love sharing sound. So that's kind of it. And I've been doing the yoga business for 20 years, and that's been a great blessing because that opens up my body, so it keeps me limber, keeps me flexible and not rigid, and flowing as the times change. So between the yoga and the sound, it's really been a great blessing, and to be able to share it with people, over the moon about that.
Yeah. Well, you are a wonderful yoga instructor, and I've taken your yoga many times, and I am a critic about it, so I know that you're great. You know, your cueing and your flow and just your genuineness as a yoga instructor and as a human being, it shines through, and that's why we knew, of course, we had to have you back again. So we are so glad you were available for the March weekend. And you know, it reminds me that you've been with us the last couple of years, and I think you spent the one night last year, but the first year you were kind of in and out, and you said to me, why don't I stay the whole weekend? What's wrong with me? Because as much as you are our tour guide for yoga and for the sounds, you're going to be doing a gong meditation as well, and you love to participate in the whole thing. You said, you said you like that for you wish you would have been there the whole weekend to experience yourself, and that's what we're going to make happen this year. So I would just wanted our listeners to know that that's how much it means to you and how much you mean to us as well. So
yes, it was that realization last year that I was missing out on this really wonderful content that I really needed to hear. The speakers and the information that was coming out from each one of the speakers that were there was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I thought, why am I selling myself short and not being here for the whole weekend? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I felt the draw, because I have 4 kids and 3 dogs and a husband, and I'm like, oh, I really can't. And you know, I'm working, I'm doing this job, and then I sat there, I'm like, no, I'm not. I need to be part of this because this fills my soul, and it fills my being and my cup, so then I can therefore have enough in my cup that I can share with others.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And you know, that's the way Jennifer Imperador, who we just had a Zoom call with earlier this morning, and she, the same thing when we spoke last September, whenever it was, she said, I want to be there the whole weekend. And I think sometimes people think that when you're a speaker or you're the yoga instructor, you're like, you know it all, you have it all, you have it all together, and you're superior. And we all need and want, you know, we want, like you said, fill my cup, be better me, and we want that peace and that still time, and get that information that the speakers have to share. And the bonding that we had that weekend with everyone was just extraordinary. I mean, the speakers are just incredible icing on the cake, but just everyone, the getaway, and you're out in your own in the weekend, and the beautiful weather and the beautiful environment and the trees and the birds and the yoga, and you're just like, you're still, and you're finally quiet in your mind. And I guess we did a lot of mind racing as well, because we learned so much and we were getting so many tools. So it was a nice mixture. But so yeah, the other speakers feel the same way. They want to be a bigger part of it. So because it's so awesome.
I think that's part of the journey that we as speakers or presenters always need to remember. It's good to receive and be able to receive, because that's when that flexibility and learning and growing in ourselves is just as important, you know, as being the presenter. We need to step back and be there. And it was such a great realization for me. And I can't wait to, I'm like all the Twitter. I can't wait
That's great.
the whole weekend.
I love it. I know you're going to be doing some gong meditation on Saturday. We'll wake up Saturday morning to Awakening Your Light yoga, and then you'll also Sunday morning. I'm letting people sleep in, so 9:15 for your yoga after breakfast. Reconnect with self. So I tend to. I need to slow myself down, and I tend to, when I do the retreat, like we do the fitness conferences, and so everything's rush, and it's like, okay, Janice, let's have some chill time. It's okay to sleep in. And so, yeah, you're doing their 2 opening yogas. Do you want to talk about those yoga practices? Is it okay?
Yeah, the Awakening Your Light on Saturday morning is going to be a more active yoga, where we want to get up, start our day, open our bodies, move, and be active. So my intention is to create a class where we're waking up the whole physical body, so we're ready to receive for the rest of the day, because we have these great women and speakers coming in to give us impart this wisdom upon us. So I want our bodies to be ready to sit, and our body and our minds to be ready to receive. So it's going to be a little more active hatha practice. So it'll be flowing, but it will fit everybody. It's not going to be exclusive of anybody. It's inclusive of everyone. It's always about how it fits your physical body today. Not where it was 10 years ago, not where you want it to be in 5 years, but where you are at that moment. So it's very highly adaptable, but it's going to be a little more invigorating practice. So we'll go to breakfast hungry.
Yeah, great. I'm glad you said that, because sometimes I make the assumption that everyone loves yoga, because I do, but sometimes some people are not used to it. Maybe it will be their first time. Maybe they're intimidated. Maybe they think they won't be able to physically do it, but it is for everyone. And I know firsthand that you make people, you are good at making adjustments and options and modifications for anybody at all. So
yeah, and I give you, and also reminding people that you can give yourself permission to practice where you are. You don't have to look like anybody else. We're just making shapes. You make the best shape for you today, and that's all that matters. We're breathing. That's the most important thing. As long as you're breathing and creating a shape, and you're in a place where you feel good and you're comfortable and maybe a little uncomfortable, but just in that kind of that sweet spot of movement and connected to breath and connected to your body, that's when things start to open up. And so it fits everyone. There isn't really in the practice that we'll be doing, that there won't be anything that isn't accessible to everyone.
That's awesome. Good to
And
hear.
then on Sunday morning, I'm going to do the Reconnect with Self, and that's a yin practice. So that's going to be a little more quiet. So we've had the whole day of activity and learning and gleaning this information and integrating it into our body or into our minds. And so on Sunday, once we get our little rest, because I really like that we're starting a little bit later too. I'm a sleeper. But then in the yin practice, I'm not going to talk so much. It's going to be a quiet, more reflective practice where we hold the postures a little bit longer. We will be a little uncomfortable in the postures because, well, we'll be folding and we'll be bending. But it's meant to get us into that reflective space where that integration happens. Where, you know, these are the things I'm really excited about. How will I put them into play in my life? How is that going to work? Well, we need that quiet time and that time to be still, to think through those things and to bring that into our physical body as well as our mental body. So our yin practices, that's why I thought Saturday we're going to start out with
it sounds perfect.
movement, and then Sunday, because we're going to be into that integration and, you know, ending the practice, that it's more about really deeply going a little bit deeper, another layer in, and being with ourselves. Because truly, we are the only person that has the choice and can make decisions for us is ourself. And knowing that person and understanding that person is the greatest gift.
Love it. It's going to be fabulous. We're so glad you can be part of it and a bigger part of it. March 15th to the 17th. And desertmoonendeavors.com. You can get a pamphlet or just go online, and it just, all the descriptions, all the prices. And so let's finish with just a 30 seconds to a minute of a gong. Just give our listeners an idea of what some people have never heard, the gong, and just a little taste of that. Okay. Wrap that up. Thank you, Kristi.
Sounds good. Thank you, Janice.
Namaste. I remember fondly us all lying on the floor at the retreat center last year, and some funky things happened to a few people from the gong sound. And obviously it's longer than a minute when we do it at the retreat, but I won't share what funky things those were, but everyone reacts a little differently, and different things happen as things come out. So we're looking forward to you, Kristi, and thank you so much.
Thank you. It was wonderful speaking with you. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.